really weird. There we go. Hello, everybody, and welcome. Can they hear us? Yes. Hi, everybody, and welcome to Saturday's stream, Movie Couple Live. I'm Wendy.
I'm Dustin.
And today we'll be talking about what is next for The Mandalorian. May contain, no, strike that, will contain spoilers.
And we're also going to be talking about the new Super Nintendo Land coming out in Japan.
Super Nintendo World.
Sorry, new Super Nintendo
We
World.
call it a land because
My
it is kind of like a land, but the correct title is Super Nintendo World, and so much more. So thank you all for hanging out with us, for joining us. I was wondering why there was a double sound, and then Dustin pointed out that I didn't. Oh, I just closed it all together. It's fine. I closed YouTube altogether. It's okay because we're not using that. So hello, everybody, and hope you guys are having a good week so far. Thank you for being super flexible and still like coming and hang out with us on Thursday's stream, because I know we typically do it on Wednesday. I had to move it to Thursday due to a hosting thing that I had. So it's all good. We had really great time, really great chat. So before we kind of dive into our fun topics today, just a couple of topics, because I feel like around this time, it's December, all the big news, especially after kind of Investor Day, is resting. And I think everybody's starting to kind of go into the holiday break mode. So it's not an earthquake, guys. It's just a table shaking.
Sorry.
And we are not seeing as much of an influx in news, even though there are some. So we just kind of get to talk about whatever we want to talk about, which is kind of generally that's our stream, it's our rule. So that's how it is, anyways. And before we get onto the topics, we have a super chat from Marvin. Thank you so much, Marvin, who writes, "Watch how The Mandalorian should have ended." Oh, okay. We will do that. We will do that after. Mm-hmm. Oh, that's interesting.
That is definitely something I'm going to watch. I love that series, the How It Should Have Ended.
Yes.
I love watching them. They're so much fun. And there's so many times where I'm like, why didn't they do that? Kind of a thing in those episodes. I'm always excited to see it. And I did not know that they actually had up a new episode for How It Should Have Ended.
They're quick on it.
Hey, that's how you get those clicks.
Late to the Party is here. Hi, Late to the Party.
Thanks.
I just want to give a shout out to both Robert and Vanessa for being kind of my rock during the ever long editing process of our Mandalorian reaction and review edit. So typically as reactors, we watch this show and then you kind of talk about it, and then it was kind of hard to stop talking about it. Like, I actually didn't want to edit. I just wanted to talk about The Mandalorian. And so it took a little bit for me to normally get started. I imported the footage, which was like a full, I think the raw footage was probably like an hour and 15, because of sometimes we take pauses. Like if I have to, something happens with Navi, then we got to pause the show, take care of that, and then come on back. And then so I had to import all that. Basically, you guys, I started editing at around 2 a.m. And by the time 8 a.m. rolled around, I was on version 6 or 7. And the powers that be was like, nope, blocked. I was like, okay, cool. So Robert and Vanessa were there helping me kind of get through. I think it was Robert, actually. It's weird because when I use iMessage on my laptop, it doesn't show the name, it shows just the number. So I'm guessing.
And nowadays, who actually remembers numbers?
Yeah,
kind of a thing.
But we did it together. We're both like sending memes and gifts to each other just to try to kind of uplift our spirit. Robert had coffee. I did not, which was a mistake. I should just got while it was exporting. Get coffee.
And I feel so bad because I passed out after a while. So I woke up in the morning and I was like, "You're still awake?"
I took a 2-hour nap on our couch.
So sorry. And I came over and I was just like, "Wendy."
Yeah. It went up like at noon, I think, around noon on Friday yesterday. So it is available in the description. The link to that video is available in this YouTube video's description if you want to go ahead and check that out. And just keep in mind when you click on it that it's been through 8 different versions of cuts before that one was finally acceptable. So what you see is what was acceptable.
And it's weird because I've also seen some other people's reactions, and they have, the edit that they did was, completely different. So I'm always wondering, what is that one thing? What is the one thing in there that's making the computer or the algorithm go, nope, not going to allow it? And I'm just like, all we need to do is know what that one little thing is
Mhm.
to be able to cut and slice. And so it's so weird to see all of these different edits that are up and find out what exactly was it that needed to get taken out.
Yeah, I think this experience with doing the reaction for The Mandalorian, which was never meant to be a reaction. I just decided when episode 3 came, before we watched it, we are like, let me just try, because a lot of viewers were asking for it. A lot of people were doing it. And I was like, okay, well, we are technically a reaction channel, is what we're
Yeah.
mostly known for. So why not? Let's just go ahead and do it. Um, and what I was afraid of was the editing process. I'm not afraid of film and reaction, or us like being too dorky or too stupid or whatever in our reaction, because it's a true reaction. So what we say is what we say. We can't edit that out. I mean, I guess
Yeah.
I can edit it out, but why would you, when it's a true reaction?
And that's what people really want to see, is the geek moments that you have, like watching the X-Wing come flying in. Now, just so you know, I know we've said it before. Well, I know, but that's not a full spoiler, I think. But we are going to be talking spoilers here for the Mandalorian season finale. If you have not watched it, we're going to try to keep it as vague.
No, we're not.
No, we're not.
No, we're
not even.
That's why it's the final topic of today's show, so you guys have enough time to kind of hang out with us. And if you haven't watched it, you can safely leave and then come back later. So that'll be we'll talk about the Mandalorian, the spoilers and everything, to go into full spoilers towards the end of this live stream. But also, while they're still here, click on Late to the Party. Check out their YouTube channel. They're great friends of ours. An awesome channel. They do a lot of really fun stuff. They worked really hard. And hey, if you want to find out about Wonder Woman, they have an unspoiler review because they got to see it, which is so awesome. Jealous. We're super jealous. And also, if anybody knows what AMC is open near them and they can buy that really awesome popcorn tin, Wonder Woman collectible,
that was really cool.
Popcorn tin, please let me know. I will Venmo you shipping and cost of the product, because I really want it, and AMC doesn't let us buy it online, and all the AMCs near us are closed. So if it's DM us or just email us at moviecouplecchannel@gmail.com if you can safely go into an AMC. We don't want to put anybody at risk. So in fact, scratch what I said. Don't go. Don't expose yourself. It's totally unnecessary, and it's not essential. Anyways, so yeah, check them out. Check out their reaction to The Mandalorian as well as ours, which is in the description of this video. So yeah, Friday's a total blur, which means Vlogmas that's been going on has been completely thrown off track. I think I'm late in editing 2 of them, not counting what we're filming today. So that'll be going up to that. That's gonna go up today. I'm gonna work on that today while trying to vlog at the same time. And then, hey, let's talk about super chat from Chris's Choice. Chris's Choice. Thank you so much, Chris Mendez. Chris writes, if you could work at any Disney park in the world, where would you work and what role would you have, or could you have? Okay.
I already know this off the top of my head.
Where would you work and what role, if you could have any, would you have? Sorry, I wanted to make sure I read that correctly.
I would work
1, 2, 3, Tokyo.
Oh.
Bye.
Sorry.
Guess our relationship is going by
It's because I want to work at the Indiana Jones stunt show.
Oh, wait, I can't sing it. They're going to copy strike.
I would
taking all the fun out of live
to be a part of that show. I remember seeing it when I saw it years and years and years ago, and I was like, oh, I want to do this. This is so cool.
Yeah.
And I don't think they had anything like that at Tokyo. I don't think they had any stunt shows.
Well, they have the aerial show, like aerial show.
Oh yeah, not like
it's not Ariel.
I want to be.
I mean, yes, Ariel. Like she is Ariel the mermaid, but she's also an aerial performer.
Oh.
So it's aerial show. They have that, which we didn't get to see because it was. They do the lottery system for it, but the show actually wasn't open that day, so we didn't get to go and see that. Yeah, that's a great one for you. Oh my gosh. Indiana Jones, the stunt show. If you've been to the Florida, is it at Hollywood
at MGM
Studios? Okay.
Well, it's not MGM Studios anymore.
We like to call it, because we're old. We like to call it.
We're old-fashioned like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Disney Studios, they had that is one of the best stunt shows I've ever seen, and I loved it. I've always wanted to be a part of it. And yeah, I'd probably go to Florida to do that. If I can't do the Indiana Jones stunt show, then I would be going to Tokyo.
Yeah.
Debbie living in Japan for a little bit.
Debbie also says, Mike Kalinowski, who is a former theme park coworker of mine, as well as obviously I know him from through Collider and Schmodown and stuff like that. But I knew him before all of that, which is kind of funny. But he was a part of it years ago. Interesting. I didn't know Mike was even working in Florida. I just thought he was like theme park like here. So that's
Oh.
actually really really cool. I should probably be like, hey, text him. Didn't know you were indie. I can see it now. I can see it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can totally see it. Okay, if you could work at any Disney park in the world, where would you work? Any other I'm kind of surprised that you didn't. Do you have a backup?
Well, yeah, if I would love to actually kind of the reason why I wanted to work in Florida is because one, Indiana Jones stunt show, but also since they have more parks, you can also spend more time. The way that we kind of treat Disneyland is the fact that there's sometimes that we go there just to hang out in the atmosphere. We love the environment. We've done everything that you possibly could do pretty much at Disneyland. And it's now one of those things that I've done everything and I love the environment.
Yeah.
I would love to get kind of that way with Florida. And if you're living in Florida, then you still can do Universal Studios and there's a whole bunch of other.
We can do that here.
Well, no. But I know, but Universal Studios Florida is a
Well,
lot bigger.
Yeah, they get the better part of
and
Wizard
there's
World.
all these different theme parks there. So it's not just working at that Disney World, but being able to live in Florida, in Orlando, and get all of these other theme parks around you. Because one of Wendy's and I's dream is to pretty much go to every single Disneyland and to go to every single like Universal theme park kind of thing and just explore it. So I would love to be able to do that. Now, if I could not get the Indiana Jones stunt show gig, then yes, I think I would love to be able to live in Tokyo and then just do Disney Sea and Disneyland. Just so we do everything there, get to experience everything possible, and maybe I'd get to learn a new language.
Yeah. Then that's basically literally the only reason why I'm picking Tokyo Disney, because that is at the moment my favorite Disney theme park out of all the theme parks. Keep in mind I haven't visited Shanghai, Hong Kong, or Paris, but this one, there's just something so special about it. It's like a different level of magic.
Yeah.
Different level of Disney magic. And as far as the role goes, I think I probably would do something in the performer role, which would obviously require me to learn a language, because I know stature wise I'm too short to be any Disney princess. I can't even be Mulan because she's technically not my height. She's actually I think she's 5'4" at the shortest. I can maybe be Silver Mist, Tinkerbell's friend, if they still have that, or I can be a costume character, but I've done years of that, and even though I have fun, like I rather not go back to it. If maybe for like a day, I would do Chip and Dale and like Mickey Minnie for like a day. So there's a two-part answer. One part is obviously Tokyo Disney. The performer part, I would go to. Do you remember the Aladdin show that we saw that had nothing to do with Aladdin? Period. It was just a random genie and a random adventure in a Cave of Wonder. That's the role. That is the show I would want to be in, because the jokes crack me up. I literally understood 2 jokes out of the entire like 20-minute show, because my Japanese is very limited. But there's one that I just chuckled out loud. I was like, oh,
is that the ouch?
Yeah, that felt like Captain America, Steve Rogers. Like, I understood that reference. I understand. I get that reference. And then for any other theme parks, as far as Disney, say we keep it here at home, I would 100%, when Fantasmic is back, be opening sequence Minnie. Can't sing the song, but that.
Oh yeah.
We can't sing the song, but there it is. So if you've seen Fantasmic, I don't care about being a princess on any of the floats on the water for Fantasmic. I want to be opening sequence Mickey. That's it.
Well, that's actually a role that you've been wanting to have for a long time.
I know the choreography. I didn't do it just now because I don't have the music. But
she has so many friends that are in that show.
Gosh.
We knew someone that was the Maleficent.
Yes.
Up on the
drag. For the transformation.
Yeah, for the transformation
Yeah.
part.
Yeah.
And there's so many. Working at Disneyland would be really great, I think, at any Disneyland. But the one in Florida is also unionized. So
we think we're not sure. I don't know if the entire park is AGVA or just performers are well. technically it's only performers who can be AGWAB. If you're
True, but
if
I
you're
think
working like in foods or something, then you'd have to. If you are in a union, it's a different one.
I think all of the workers at Disney World are
Mhm.
union,
Yeah.
but I'm not 100% sure. Don't quote me on that. If you know, comment below.
Now, if you were to work at Universal Studios, we're just gonna take Chris's choice and we're gonna expand a little bit. If you work at Universal Studios, would you do
Oh.
Florida or LA? And what role would you want to do?
Okay. Honestly, I think I'm going to lean more towards Florida because in Florida, one, there's going to be a lot more things for you to do. But you have 2 theme parks to pick from, and there's a lot of different shows that you can do. I would love to do Ollivanders.
Yeah.
I actually auditioned for the wizard
Ollivander.
role of
We know
Ollivanders, but
we know a one keeper.
I choked
Did
so
you?
hard. Yeah, I messed. They were like, you have to. I was preparing like certain lines because I didn't know, and then they just gave us the script and said, "Yeah, you're getting this. Read this part." And I was like, and I was thrown off. So, and I didn't. My audition skills aren't that sharp. So, since I was thrown off, I stumbled, I made mistakes, and I didn't make the cut. I would love to audition again
when they open back
when
up.
they reopen
Yeah.
to see if I can get an Ollivanders role.
Yeah. They do auditions actually pretty frequently.
Yeah. So I think, you know what? That's probably a good idea because I'm sure a lot of people they're going to have to recast because I'm sure.
I mean, they can hire them back.
I hope I hope if they lost their job, they get their job back.
Right.
But I'm pretty sure a lot of people are like, well, I don't have a job, so I have to go get another one, kind of a thing. So I'm hoping that
talk to Roca.
Maybe he can.
We visited Roca many a times. Many a times. To the point where I would text him knowing he's like on his break and be like, okay, we're coming to see you. When is your next set?
and we got to see him.
We have to time it
twice. I know we saw him in when he did what is it, the Walking Dead maze.
That was a seasonal thing. Yeah, that wasn't like a regular every year thing.
And we got to see him as Ollivander.
So cool.
Which was so cool.
Did we not see him as the conductor as well?
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, multiple roles. Yeah. It's a lot of fun. It's kind of weird talking about Universal for me because I've been there, done it. And I'll talk about a show that doesn't exist anymore. It's the Terminator show. I would 100% want to be Kimberly. 100% the snappy host. Super. Yeah, that was a really, really, really fun show, and I would love to do that one. That or just be a VIP guide because it's a lot of fun.
Oh yeah,
it's not easy to get to like that. Like I think you have to put the work in to be VIP. Be a VIP guide.
Well, I know a buddy of mine from high school. We actually auditioned when we were still either just graduated from high school, just starting junior college. We both went to audition together, and he actually got the tour guide, and he has worked his way up to the VIP. And I'm just like, dude, that's awesome.
Yeah.
The fact that he's now like one of the big VIP runners at Universal Studios.
VIP runners?
VIP guides.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry, that's the proper. I didn't know what the proper terminology was, so I just made one up, and then I'm like, wait a second, that doesn't work.
Ooh,
but he's one of the big
Jim and I were gonna have to have a conversation. Oh, Jim, thank you so much for your Streamlab. Sorry, I was just reading through the comments. I'm so sorry. I just like
no, it's okay.
Steamrolled through you. I was just making sure I didn't miss anything as far as if people were to work at any Disney park in the world, what would they do and which one they would work at. And I'm seeing Jim's comment. Jim, let's chit chat off the stream after, if that's if you are totally okay with it. And 2, thank you so much for your donation on our Streamlab. Thank you so much. I finally figured out my password and I saw it, so thank you so much for your donation. We really, really, really appreciate it, and I will contact you. I think I can contact him via Streamlabs,
okay,
so I will do it that way. Okay guys, let's go ahead and move on to Newsflash. For today's Newsflash, we have 2 just short, quick, sweet little topics. First one, the Snyder Cut to be released March 2021, which is not very far away because when they first talked about it, I imagined it would be like at the later end of 2021.
Yeah.
And it would feel like we're never going to go, we're never going to be able to see it because time some days are very short, some days are very long. There's not like a normal day for me anymore, but we're excited. We're going to be able to see this on HBO Max. It's going to be released in a 4-part series, which I am a little bit bummed, but I get it because if they're long, it's the Snyder Cut, right?
Yeah.
Then of course it's harder to digest in one sitting. So I'm kind of like, do I want to wait for all the 4 to hit, and then I just do it like how I do Lord of the Ring extended cut and just
Mm-hmm.
power through
Binge.
all 4 series, or but that means I have to avoid social media for 4 weeks.
No, I can't remember. Did they actually say that each series is going to be like an hour long, so we're getting 4 hours of Snyder?
I
I'm
think
assuming they're somewhere within that
so.
hour
I'm
range.
gonna look it up.
But I mean, I'm excited for this. And it doesn't really matter what we want, whether or not we want to binge it. As soon as it comes out, we are going to be sitting down and filming our reaction and our review to
I
it.
don't know about filming a reaction if it's gonna be an hour.
Oh, yeah, true.
It
That'd
took
be,
me 11 hours to edit the Mandalorian season finale.
and that was less than an hour.
Ever. It was only 46 minutes of a show of a show.
Well, and also, did they actually say when each series is it going to? So we know that's going to
Yes,
be released
okay.
in March.
Collider says a mini series of 4 1-hour episodes in 2021.
Okay, cool. And we do know that they're coming out in March, so that means they're probably going to be out throughout March. It will be each week in March.
I would assume so. So probably I won't wait, because then that's 4 weeks of me avoiding those topics on social media. And
Exactly.
even though I block out certain keywords, some of them still slip through, you know, or you hear in conversation from somebody. So it's going to be kind of hard to avoid it. So I guess I'm just going to suck it up and watch it every week. I just don't want like a cliffhanger. I don't want a cliffhanger and I have to wait a whole week, just like the Mandalorian. I'm sitting there twiddling my thumb and I'm like, oh my God, what's going to happen next? So
we have been
kinda
so
just wanna,
spoiled
yeah, a
by
little bit.
Netflix, and here's the
it
entire
all.
8 episodes all at once,
Yeah,
kind of a
just
thing.
binge it all.
Just binging it all. But nope, we're going to have to learn patience.
Yeah.
A Jedi needs to learn patience, young one.
I have zero patience. I like instant gratification. If you know me, that's like one of my like biggest flaws is I think I have patience in my head. In actuality, I have it's very, very thin. Like if I'm at a store and I'm trying to like do the shopping during the pandemic, I have patience. If I'm waiting for like for them at a restaurant, like well, back when I used to be able to go to a restaurant, I haven't gone to a restaurant forever. But if like a food item got messed up, it gets sent back and whatever. Like I have a lot of patience for that because I worked in those specific places, so I can exercise patience because I know, you know, it's at the end of the day, it's just food, right?
Yeah.
It's just food at the end of the day.
Well, and you're going to get it within a little
You're
bit of
still
time.
gonna get it. It
It's
just
not
takes
like
time
you
to
have to
cook.
go there and then you have to wait a week to get your food.
Right. So I think for me, certain things I have zero patience for, and that is one of them where I'm just like, can I just get this all right now? But no, it makes sense. You know, you kind of extend the experience.
Mm-hmm.
It creates conversations for fans to kind of digest
That's the
and
big
talk
one.
about, and then create our own little headcanon on what's going to happen next, only for you to watch the episode and be like, that's exactly what they didn't do.
Mm-hmm.
You know, which is fine because it's not our story, it's his story. So I am really excited. And looking in the chat, it's saying that for the UK, since you guys don't quite have HBO Max yet, that you are getting it late next year, apparently, according to Jack, it says. So
I honestly hope that you guys are.
I hope you
anyone
guys would
in
have
the
HBO
UK,
Max before that.
yeah,
Wouldn't that be
I mean,
nice?
especially if it's now available on Roku. And also, there's a lot of different hacks that I think you can do to where you can change.
Legal
No,
hacks?
they're legal.
Okay.
They're hacks. When I say is that like you can get a certain IP, like there's a
like
certain
your VPN
stuff. Like Mike Chen talked about it.
your private network.
You can get your private network, set it up in the United States, and then have access to HBO Max through there. Because Mike Chen was saying, you know, he likes it because there are certain movies that
Strictly
are available
dumpling.
on Netflix that he can't get now that he's in Korea. But now that he's hooked it up to his IP address in the United States, he is now able to get all of the videos that are.
But are you allowed to even sign up for HBO Max when you enter your information and it shows that you're located in the UK? Like, are you still allowed to have
that? I don't know because I have not tested it out.
Yeah, that's kind of the sticky point.
Yeah, VPN. It's
VPN.
VPN, right?
Mm-hmm.
And maybe that's a way to be able to get HBO Max.
We don't know. We don't have experience with that because luckily you and I get to have HBO Max.
Yeah.
So let us know if you know, like, if there's any sort of, you know, legal way to get HBO Max. But I feel like if there was a way, it would have been done by a lot of people already. We would have heard about it. So I think they're just still waiting. to see. But we are super excited to see this cut. I am very curious to see what characters will be introduced to
Mm-hmm.
us. And it's because there's rumors, right? Rumors we're gonna get this, we're gonna get that, and I heard about the Joker, heard about Deathstroke, which is all like fun and great. But I want to see how putting in all of that is gonna like enrich the story more than what we got in the
Yeah.
theater. So we will see. Okay, see, Ruru too writes VPN isn't legal either. It's just not enough people are using it. It's not worth the time to go after them. Yeah,
Oh.
see, so that's kind of what I was thinking as well, because that's people would have done it already. So, which is, well, finger crossed. We're gonna cross our fingers for you guys over in the UK that you will get HBO Max sooner rather than later.
I still don't know why it's such a big deal, too. I mean, especially the fact
We'll have to look it up.
that it's like a US property for the UK. I can understand a little bit more, like say if you're in a certain, like if you're in a little bit more strict of
Google
a
it.
country, like say if you lived in China or something, I can see now, okay, getting HBO in China is going to be a lot more difficult. But UK, France, Germany, maybe, I mean, I would think that HBO would want to get those contracts signed so
there
that
must
they can
be some sort of international thing that you and I aren't aware about. So I am pretty
because
sure
then not only the Snyder Cut, but you also get to get
oh yeah, it's only
Wonder
available
Woman.
here in the US, HBO Max. Interesting.
Weird.
Okay. Well, they are going to make Wonder Woman available for rental, like a 40, like you can rent it, and you have I think you have 48 hours to watch it in January for the UK, because I think certain areas have entered tier 4 to go back into lockdown, is what I kind of read
Yeah.
about this morning. And I think Jack and Ronnie were also both talking about it, our viewers from our movie bunch from the UK. So that's good news as far as like they're able to see it. They are not able to see it on Christmas, but at least it's not like later. At least it's January. So there is that. All right, you guys. Moving on to our next topic. This is interesting. One of the, I would say, a very highly anticipated video game.
Probably one of the most anticipated games.
Been hearing
of this
about
year.
this for like it feels like years, but it's probably like months in the last few months before it was actually like released. Everybody was talking about it. It was very highly anticipated. However, it was removed from the PlayStation Store, the digital version of it, because it was so buggy. Now, I have talked to a couple of people that have played it, and they're saying that they're not experiencing problems on the PS5.
Yes.
They're experiencing problems with consoles that are older, so a PS4
and an Xbox One.
I didn't know about the Xbox
I think
One.
I looked on a couple different articles, and they were mainly focusing on the PS4 glitches, but they were also saying that if you got it for Xbox One, you were experiencing similar, if not the same glitches.
Now that's got to be like super, super frustrating.
Oh my gosh.
You're excited. You don't have the money to drop on a PS5, or, you just not ready to purchase one, or you couldn't get one, but you want to play the game. So you purchase it and you turn it on and it's just bug. Like somebody called the exterminator, just bug all over. We watched a couple of videos on just the glitches and the bugs. And that's just, as a player, when you just want to go in and play and have fun, it's got to be so frustrating.
I can see it being amusing for a little bit, but then you're like, I paid what, $70 for this game. I want it to work, and now it seems like they're giving a lot of people the runaround of getting the refund, making it so you have to jump through a lot of hoops.
Oh boy.
And I'm just like, when you buy a game, you want to play it now, and you want it to work now.
Of course.
You don't want to have to
buy
wait.
the thing that's already broken.
You don't want to have to wait for new downloads, for new fixes that you have to get. And what is it? The newest one that I read is like 17 gigabytes of new information and fixes and adjustments that they've made to the code. So it at least is less buggy. It's not even fixed. It's just less buggy.
Rurutu actually says here in the chat, first generation PS4 and Xbox One. The Pro version of the console is slightly better, but still buggy.
Mm-hmm.
That's just like, that makes me just feel incredibly sad for all the players that went out and bought the game and turned it on to start playing, just to be really disappointed. And it's also frustrating because when you don't have a smooth gameplay, when you're trying to do things, like, it's just, you dropped what, $60 on a game? $70 on the game, depending on like, because there's like probably different versions. You know how there's like the like
Yeah.
exclusive, and you get like extra like in-game items or whatever. I don't know. I didn't look into it because we don't have a PS4 even. We're still got our PS3 still alive and kicking, just barely. So in our Xbox One. So we haven't bought Cyberpunk 2077 yet, which I guess it's a good thing.
Yeah.
Because I'd be really upset if I dropped that money for a game that doesn't quite work.
Yeah. I mean, especially the fact that this is, it's not just the fact that it's a game either. It's one of the most anticipated games of 2020. So many people I've heard that were just drooling over this game, going, "Oh my God, I cannot wait!" And this is the thing too. It's like all you had to do to fix this, or to know that this was a problem, was to put it into a PS4 and play test it. And you would have noticed from what I've seen on YouTube, some of the compilations that they've put together.
They should have just delayed it.
Yeah,
they should have just delayed it if the developers found. But I mean, I don't know, because obviously we're not in the room, so we're not a part of the decision. We're just the consumer.
True.
But as the consumer who is willing to drop our money for your game, you usually games are playable out of the package, whether you buy a physical copy or a digital download. It's playable. Can you imagine? Like buying Animal Crossing, just a cutesy little game, and then nothing works. You go to shake a tree and it doesn't shake, and it's
like the tree just falls down. You shake the tree and
or just just stupid buggy stuff like that, and it's gonna really leave a sour taste in a lot of people's mouths. People were talking about this game. It's a huge topic, and now it's just like, now you have to refund people, and it's getting a little bit of a bad press. It's not playable. Now there's tons of videos out there for how buggy it is. Just like, if you just search YouTube, there are tons of videos of just how buggy it is, and it's crazy that it wasn't. I feel like, coming from the consumer aspect of things, it wasn't ready, and they're like, well, let's just put it out anyways. Like, why?
Yeah, I mean, they must have known about these bugs. And it's one of those things that are so blatantly obvious that you're kind of like, what was their game plan here?
Yeah, interesting. An interesting comment by MK Songbird, who writes, crazy how Cyberpunk only runs well on next-gen consoles when it was originally supposed to be released years before the next-gen consoles were even close to set to release. So it wasn't ready, and maybe they're just like, we're excited, just launch, hit the launch button, go.
And then someone comes in, don't hit the launch button. We already did.
They already turned the key, simultaneously turning the key. It's like, well, so now you got to do a little damage control and go back and fix the bugs and refund the people. I think taking it off the stores digitally is the right move, so not more people, because then you have to refund more. But that also means that for the people that are still going into like a brick and mortar store and picking up the physical copies, putting into their PS4s, and it's just kind of like, wait, this isn't working. So yeah.
Oh, and I'm gonna feel bad. I mean, for anyone who got it as a Christmas gift when they put it in,
because people pre-ordered it, and now it's like probably on their way. Oh no!
And it's not like you can cancel it. So yeah, Ronnie.
Boy.
Oh, Sony.
Jack asks, how's the Snowboy making going? He's talking about Snowboy making on my Animal Crossing island. I tried it last night, and guys, I think I got it down. I got it on the first try. So now I can make a frozen chair, frozen wall. I got a sculpture, a counter, and a bed. So my little frozen area is looking really, really cute.
Super cute. Yeah, you should see some of the stuff that she has. But late to the party. I'm so glad you guys did not buy this. It's one of those things that's kind of like, you know what? I'm glad I decided to wait for them to fix all the bugs.
Yeah. I wonder if late to the party they have a Nintendo Switch, and if they do, why haven't we played Mario Kart or Super Smash Brothers on it yet?
Oh yeah.
If you guys have one, let us.
Yeah, we definitely should get some Mario Kart, Mario Kart, Smash Brothers, or Mario Party together.
Yeah.
I haven't played Mario Party in a while, and I want to play it some more.
I know it's been a while, and I think it was Stardew that was asking if we would stream on Twitch again soon. Yes, the answer is yes. It's just really, really busy right now between like the vlogging and the editing. That Mandalorian episode really threw me off of my groove. You threw off my groove. Sorry. Name that movie if you know. Well, you guys, we're gonna go to Amar's super chat right here before we head into our main topics. And also, while you're here, if you enjoyed this conversation, if you enjoyed this discussion with our movie bunch and with us, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button. That really helps us out here a lot on YouTube. Of course, subscribe to the channel. If not for us, then for this adorable little thing for Navi. Navi says, click the subscribe button. Click it. Click it. Click it. No, they don't have a Switch. So you guys, thank you so much for being here. Let's go ahead and dive into the super chat by Amr. Amr writes, I got Cyberpunk for PC. I don't have the next generation. And while it got some bugs, I'm actually enjoying it. Hey, that's great.
That's cool.
Great story and amazing graphics. So much room for improvement, i.e. AI, punching mechanics, and car physics. Yeah.
I've heard that too, about the car physics and actually going up and trying to actually fight someone. It has been very glitchy.
Ooh. Got it.
And but you know, I've heard that from a lot of PC guys, is that fact that on PC it's working so much better. So, and you know what? That's just one of the reasons why PC gaming is a little bit better than consoles, because you know you can play almost any game, and you usually
with your
have
custom built PC, you know, so it looks gorgeous PC on your desktop or whatever on your desk. It looks pretty, and then you're kind of like, yeah.
Well, I love seeing some of those builds of gaming consoles where it has the lights in there and it's clear and it's see-through, and I'm just like, that is sick.
How do you even do that? I would have to call friends in and be like, here is money, how do I get one? How may I have one, please?
Just
if I give you the money, if I give you the money, can you give me the PC? Somebody said, can we get you Mario Kart game? Don't we have Mario Kart for the Switch, or do we not?
Yeah, I think we have Mario.
You sure?
I think we have Mario Kart 8. I can go check.
Yeah.
Okay, I will be right back. Sorry.
There's that impatience. There's that. You guys see it? The instant gratification. Like, I need it right now. I need it. I feel like we don't. I feel like we only have it for the Wii.
Oh, maybe.
Am I wrong? Here's all the titles.
Yeah, I was like.
Dustin just grabbed all of them.
Oh,
we don't have it.
Yeah, we have it.
We
for the
don't
Wii
have
U.
it.
I could have sworn.
we had
that
it.
We
too.
had it. Maybe it's just somewhere else. Yeah, we got
How
Animal
is it
Crossing,
somewhere else?
Ring Fit, Luigi's Mansion, Mario Party, Smash Brothers, Dragon Ball Z.
Dorian gave me that.
Civilizations. This is a game that I've put so many hours in. Tsum Tsum Festivals, and yeah, 1-2 Switch,
and then Animal Crossing and Paper Mario.
Oh yeah, Paper Mario.
Wow,
Animal Crossing.
We literally don't have Mario Kart.
I thought we had it.
I guess we don't.
Oh well. Well, I guess that's one thing that we can put on our Christmas lists.
We'll just purchase it. After Christmas.
Yes, because that's when
we're not buying anything for ourselves before the holidays. Just right now we're focusing on buying things for like parents, you know, and stuff.
And family members, friends and family.
Thank you so much, Amr, for your super chat and sharing your story with us. Good to know that, like, on the PC, it's, you know, even less buggy. But I also like to hear that there's room for improvement. So when they do the next patch and the patch after that, hopefully the bugs will start disappearing and you can have a nice, smooth gameplay to improve all the things that Amr is talking about. Late to the party. Can we play Mario Party together? Yes.
Yeah.
But if you guys don't have, wait, hold on. Maybe I missed a comment.
Oh, wait. Maybe they don't have Mario Kart. No, because I thought they were saying that they don't have a Switch.
No, they do have one.
Oh, okay.
Okay, we'll text you guys after the show. We're doing this 100%.
Yeah, we'll see if we can do some kind of.
We'll figure out how we can do it on Twitch or something.
And I love Mario Party.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think someone was talking to me, and we were bringing up the conversation of which way is the way to lose friends faster: Mario Kart, Smash Brothers, or Mario Party?
Mario Kart.
I think
100%.
Mario Kart. There's been times where I've wanted to kill people. Some of my friends.
Didn't I punch our friend?
In
the arm. I didn't punch him in the face. And also, like, these don't do much. These don't. I pulled my punches.
But oh my gosh, yeah, Wendy was going to get first place. She was in sight.
You've told the story before.
The finish line. He throws a red shell. She gets bumped back to like fifth.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was the blue shell.
He did look at me, and there was a little bit of fear in his eyes. And so I targeted him for the next round. I was like,
it's like, I'm falling back just so I can hit at him.
I will come in 12th just so I can sabotage your win. I don't care. Yeah, we can totally. Okay, late to the party, and we will talk we will talk and we'll see if we can come up with a fun
Yes.
Mario Party thing, whether it's on their channel, our channel, or maybe we could do part one,
Both
part two.
channels at the same
We
time.
can't do YouTube and stream.
No,
Twitch
no,
at
no,
the
no.
same time
Well,
because
we're streaming because they're not going to be with us. So we would be streaming on our channel, playing with them. They would be streaming on their channel, playing with us.
Interesting. I'll have to figure out how that works. That'll be super fun.
Yeah, Stardew. Mario Kart kills friends.
Kills friendships.
It
yes.
really does.
Are you guys going to play Sephiroth on Smash? We just watched a whole bunch of video. 100%.
Mhm.
Yes. Yes, I geeked out. I was like, "Oh, Final Fantasy, my favorite!" So excited.
And probably one of the best Final Fantasies out of the entire series was Final Fantasy VII.
And since we're talking about video games, we're talking about Nintendo properties, it is time to go on to our main topics, one of which is the latest update on Super Nintendo World in Universal Studios Japan. They just recently did a Nintendo Direct with, oh, hold on, there we go. Just a cute little banner up there for you guys. So yeah, we just saw the recent Nintendo Direct, which had nothing to do with any sort of gaming news at all, and I'm okay with it because they took us to Super Nintendo World, and this was kind of hosted by Mario's dad, essentially. Sugeru Miyamoto, I believe, is the correct pronunciation, and so sorry if it's not, but he took us on a tour, not us personally, but the viewers.
Yeah.
On a tour of Super Nintendo World in Universal Studios Japan. Oh my gosh, and we can't wait to visit. I believe the video should be up on the Nintendo Direct or the Nintendo YouTube channel. So check it out. It's a quick, like 15-minute, 20-minute watch, and it's adorable. And it's funny because when he kind of, there were, obviously like the iconic green pipes and everything.
Yeah.
He hid behind one of them. He popped up. And with the way, and Dustin said this the best, with the way everything is so animated and it's based on obviously the graphics from a video game, having a real person physically interact with it, it looked like they were superimposed or photoshopped in. I was like, but is he actually there? Yeah, but he wasn't because he was physically interacting with all the stuff around him. And obviously because of COVID, he was the only person that was there. And he took us through, you can physically walk into a life-size pipe to warp you into Peach's castle. And you kind of see the structure of Peach's castle. We got to go into Bowser's castle. There's a little walkthrough and where you can interact with Bob-ombs, and you have to buy, this is like an
one of my favorite
purchase.
things was these
power-up bands.
And
they have different designs, so you can get a Mario one, a Luigi one. There's Peach and Daisy. There's a Toad and maybe a Toad. Oh, if they have a Toadette, I would get a Toadette.
Oh,
but I don't think they had one. I think it was Mario, Luigi, Peach, Daisy, probably Bowser, and maybe like a Koopa. Or a Toad. I don't remember the other designs. There was a couple of them.
If you get a chance to watch the video, it is an awesome video. It is all in Japanese, so you do have to read some subtitles. But yeah, just to be able to see this world, the way that it looked so animated, I was a little bummed that they didn't walk us through the rides a little bit to kind of show us. I mean, they walked into the ride, they showed us the ride cart. We saw the image that we saw previously that they had released, and we also saw the
AR goggles.
The AR goggles that
in the shape of a Mario hat.
That I think looks awesome. And I'm just super excited to see what these attractions are like. The food looked delicious that they had. And what else did they show? They showed
a little bit of the merchandise, which for me, I'm such like a merchandise fanatic. Like when I go to theme parks, I'm like, what can I purchase that is in a reasonable price and something that's practical, minus like the wands. Like I have 2 or 3 wands now, I think, but it's not practical. But as a Harry Potter, like as a Potterhead, of course I have to have wands. But I don't have one of the interactive ones.
Yeah, that was one of the things that I wanted to get you for Christmas one year.
Now
it's kind of like, well, let's not.
Let's just wait. It's okay. But they showed what I really liked seeing was seeing a physical person interacting with the land or the world to kind of bring us a little bit of perspective on the scale of like when people are there, how it's going to look. The area did look a little bit small. We did hear that they were going to expand the land to add like a Donkey Kong area. I think with Universal, with Nintendo Land, I think there's a lot that they can expand into. They can hopefully, if they have the room, create new rides, attractions. But for me, it was aside from the Mario Kart ride, which is like their flagship, attraction in that land, was the ability to interact with the items in that area
That was cool.
and the food. So let's talk about the food real quick. They have like Toad's Cafe or Toad's Kitchen or something like that. And you walk in and there's kind of mushroom themed stuff. There are actual mushroom ingredients in some of the food, but more so it's like mushroom shaped.
So does that mean they practice cannibalism since they're mushrooms themselves?
Oh no. Kind of yes.
Or they're just different kinds of mushrooms, I guess.
Oh no. That's true.
And we got another super chat from Christopher.
Chris,
Thanks, man.
thank you, Chris. Chris writes, hopefully by the time Disneyland reopens, the upgrades for the spider bots are available so we can have a truly epic spider bot battle. Yes, Chris gifted us with a spider bot that we showed off. It's not in here.
I can get it real quick. I know exactly what it is. Okay. Oh yeah.
Well, so do I.
Oh yeah, we put it right back.
We put it right back because we don't want anything to happen to it. But yes, we look forward to a very epic spider bot battle. I'm already thinking about which upgrade I'm gonna get. I think, but I haven't decided. So we will. Dustin wants the Iron Man one. I kind of want the Black Panther one.
Oh, that one would have been cool.
Spider bot, so, yeah. Spider Chris.
We got Spider Chris right here.
Chris, yeah.
We're gonna. That's what we have officially named him.
Spider Chris kind of stays in his little container, so nothing happens to it, so we don't accidentally bump it or anything like that when we're not playing with Spider-Bot.
Yeah, but we do take him out every now and again, play with him and walk him around.
It's more like us trying to get Navi to interact with it, and then she just goes on full she just ignores. She's like, no. If I don't acknowledge you, she actually just left the room because she's like, they can't share the same space. Unfortunately. She's like, excuse me, there's only one room in this household for a pet, and that is me.
Yeah. Navi's just like, she's gotten used to being the one and only pet.
And only pet. I mean, so did Falcor. Falcor enjoyed that very much until I decided to bring Navi home. I was like,
until Navi looked at you going, take me home.
She put the paw on me. She imprinted on me. I was like, oh no, we're having another dog. But back to Nintendo World. And yes, Chris, we look very much forward to our epic battle.
We're saving the first battle for you, man.
Yeah, just movie couple version. We'll live stream it too on our phone. So quality won't be the best, but it'll be fun. Aside from the food in Nintendo World, I was talking about the ability to interact with all the physical items. So if you purchase the power-up band, which is not included in the ticket of the price admission, but I would do it just to get the full experience. And plus you get to keep it. And you have an app on your phone that kind of goes along with it. You can find little blocks. You can actually, you don't go up and scan it. You physically punch it.
The block.
He hit it kind of hard too because he's like, boom. I was like, oh, you hit it. Imagine so many people hitting it. Like, it'll break so quick.
And of course, it's like now we're putting, Universal is putting in all of these interactive touch things. And it's kind of like, put on my rubber glove.
You
kind of
set
thing,
up a cute little toad standing table.
And has hand sanitizer.
Or whatever land specific sanitizing area. So if it's Bowser, maybe it's a little bit more gray. If it's Peach, it's pink. And like right after you punch it, or before and after you like do the sanitization and you punch the thing. But yeah, you can get hidden coins at random. And there's one where you punch it and you have to time your power-up punch for it to hit a moving shell that's moving across the warp pipe there.
And that's how you get a key.
And that's how you get a key to unlock certain things. Now, he kept a lot of things under wrap. He only showed us like 2 to 3 interactions. But there's one giant, the piranha plant?
Yeah.
That was an interaction. And the thing was giant. And he didn't show us that. He said he's going to keep it a secret, which means it's nice to tease future park goers so they know what to look for.
Yeah.
They're going to go, they're going to interact with it. It's going to be so much fun. And we are subscribed to here on YouTube, TDR Explorer, who is a theme park YouTuber who lives in, I didn't know what other things, how other a way to describe, but like a theme park YouTuber who lives in Japan. So we watch a lot of his videos to kind of help us stay up to date with the theme parks over there. So we can't wait to do all of that. I will try to find when we go next year or the year after, to kind of figure out what merchandise I want. I'm gonna allow myself one piece of merchandise from the land.
Do have to admit, we did mention what Wendy did mention, the fact that it looks small. It just also looks like they put so much stuff in there that they're kind of like, you have all these different interactive things, and they have these teeny tiny pathways. So I'm a little afraid that when they do open, full capacity to the public, it's gonna be a little cramped. It's gonna be a little difficult to actually do any of them because there's gonna be long lines and there's not really a place for the lines to go. So I'm a little concerned about that, but I'm pretty sure that just because it looks like it might be, that doesn't mean it is.
And also with the way the Japanese culture is, they're very like patient when it comes to standing in line, as you and I have experienced. People stand in very long lines to get the popcorn at Disneyland. So I imagine maybe they'll do a timed thing, maybe to like, this is your reserved time to go into the land, or maybe they won't, because at the beginning it's kind of like a soft open because now they're operating at like a reduced capacity.
True.
So they can kind of see the flow through and kind of see how that goes. And speaking of popcorn, they are going to have they have a very cute popcorn bucket that's like in the shape of the superstar.
Oh yeah, that looks so cute.
Oh, and I have the perfect dress, my black milk superstar dress. When we do get to go,
oh,
I can wear that and I'll be like totally in theme. Okay, sorry, thinking way too far ahead into the future. But they have two flavor popcorns. You can get one in the peaches area, and it's a caramel peach popcorn, and the other one's mushroom flavored. Which, if you hate mushroom, then I guess you won't be getting it. We have friends who hate mushroom. They call it tree fungus, so they won't be getting it. Tripu. Sorry. But we definitely will be getting both.
I do like what Blake GTR is saying, is that I think keeping it a secret might be code for it's not technically ready to show yet.
That's true. They haven't implemented all the right stuff.
And I'm kind of like, that might be true. They're like, let's show them all the really cool stuff that we have ready to go. But the stuff that we're still working on is going to be stuff that we will be like, oh, we want that to be a surprise kind of a thing. And it makes sense too, because if one of the things that they did skip was a huge, was one of the huge fly traps, piranha plants. Thank you. One of the piranha plants. If that's one of their biggest ones, that one may not actually be ready for interaction.
I wonder if it wakes up and it's like, wow,
and it actually
swallows a person.
Okay, we now need to change the program. Do not eat guests.
Do not eat it. Let's implement that code before we reopen it back to the public. That'd be really, really funny. That's like Halloween time. Oh my gosh, can you imagine at Halloween time they dress it up with cobwebs or whatever, and they, instead of Mario and Luigi greeting you, they can have Waluigi and Wario.
That would be pretty
and
cool.
Boo. Oh, King Boo.
Where you just have all of these different bad character, or the evil characters in a sense, are walking around in costume. That would be so cool if they actually had like a puppeteer dressed all in black with these clear see-through rods kind of thing, and being able to have like the puppet float around.
Yeah.
I think that would be really cool.
I feel
and
like
if when someone looks at him, he actually like covers his eyes and hide. But
he does that. That's right.
But the puppeteer can see and watch. So as soon as the person looks away,
you guys like our terrible impression of Boo? All right, you guys. Jack is asking when this is opening. I believe they're opening in February of 2021. So obviously, if next year, depending on how things go, if we're allowed to travel and travel safely, I feel like Dustin and I are gonna have to splurge and make a trip to Japan. Maybe we do a 2-part trip. Maybe we go to New Zealand and Japan. So we go all the way to New Zealand and then come back.
Yep.
Hit Japan. Longer than 3 days.
Yeah, 3 days. When we were there only for 3 days, we didn't. It was like go.
It's like, we're sleepers for the week. We're not sleeping. We're seeing Japan.
Yeah, exactly. But I still loved it. Even just the 3 days that we were in it.
So fantastic.
I want to go back to Japan so bad. The food was amazing. The theme parks were incredibly mind-blowing.
Yeah. And
Japan ruined a lot of things for me.
7-Elevens,
theme parks, how clean a city can be.
Yeah.
Kind of a thing. So, yeah.
Promise to ourselves we will go back.
Pinky promise. Yeah.
All right, guys, on to our final topic. And if you've enjoyed what we've talked about so far, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe to this channel and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any new videos from us. And now let's dive into what is next for The Mandalorian. And
Spoilers.
yes, disclaimer right there. That's exactly a spoiler. So if you're not caught up with the latest episode with The Mandalorian, the season finale, it is no longer safe for you to be here because now you're going to get plots and other moments ruined for you. So if you have not, go ahead and put this video on pause. We're at about a 55-minute mark as far as the live stream goes. So just remember that and come on back once you've watched the episode uninterrupted, spoiler free. Unless you don't care about having things spoiled, then by all means stay, hang out, speculate, chat with us about, what do we think is next for The Mandalorian. So with that said, we're going to go ahead and dive right in with spoilers. So maybe I should change this real quick.
Oh, yeah. And for just say Mandalorian spoilers.
Yes, for the people.
So we have a big warning up there.
Yep.
So everyone knows when you come into this live stream, we are going to have spoilers. So we're going to be talking about all the things that we geeked out about. If you've seen our reaction, you know how much I geeked out in this last episode. And some of the twists and turns that my geeking out happened.
You kind of did we all went on a roller coster in this final episode. I screamed, I laughed, and I cried.
When I was watching it, I did not realize that when there was that a certain reveal that I was like, what the hell?
You didn't realize that at all?
I did not. That just came out.
See,
and I didn't realize it until I went back and watched some of the edits that you had done.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't remember saying that.
I can't edit that out. See, that's why like people are like, sometimes and these are far and few in between, but we get comments, on reaction videos. They pre-watched it. They did this. It's so fake. And I was like, if it's fake, would I leave that in there or would I take that out? Or I can simply pause the video and say, Dustin, let's go back and reenact that moment. Like, no, that's like the whole point of doing reactions is to get that first impression, that knee-jerk, whatever reaction you may have. That's what we want to put out. Mm-hmm. And that was your reaction. And that was my reaction. I said what I said about deep fake. So like,
well, and
we
also
want to edit that out.
Someone did comment about how often I am right when I'm guessing, oh my gosh, this is what's going to happen.
Mind you, most reactors, if you watch them, Late to the Party, Blind Wave, trying to think.
What's the one that has the 4 guys?
That's Blind Wave.
Oh, that's Blind Wave.
I literally cannot remember any of the other names because I just watched their videos. Adam and what's his face? They called it. They've all called it. They all made the same prediction. I feel like if you are really, really into Star Wars and you grew up with it, whether you're
you can see the hints.
You can see the hints coming and you can speculate. Just because we saw an X-Wing show up didn't necessarily meant it was going to be Luke, but is it very likely to be Luke because it's kind of synonymous? Yes. And that's why we said it. We also said it prior to that, the episode prior to that. A lot of you guys have also said it, like in the discussions and stuff like that. You guys also said that. So let's go ahead and dive into the spoilers.
You can't forget the spiders, right?
I can't forget about the spiders. I want to forget about the
no. I wish that was one of the episodes that we had recorded. It would have been
Wasn't that episode 2?
It was episode 2.
Oh, Rejects. I actually haven't watched theirs yet because I know the Real Rejects did a part 1 and part 2 reaction.
Oh.
But they just put it up this morning, so I haven't had time to watch it, and I want to watch it because Greg's laugh always makes me laugh. Like he's got like a hearty laugh. And I really, 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 really wanted to kind of sit down and enjoy that.
And yeah, so especially something that where'd it go? Star Drew. That was one of the theories that I had. I was like, okay, well, if this isn't,
you said it right away too. You're like Luke or Ezra, like you said it right away.
It was one of those things that I was like, my first instinct, was that it was Luke Skywalker coming in, and I was so excited to see him. But the thing is, I was like, well, I guess maybe it could be Ezra making an entrance, because that I think would be awesome as well.
Especially with the hint of Thrawn prior to that. But I think it makes more sense for it to be Luke, for him to sense that call that Grogu put out, when he was on the Seeing Stone and everything. Huge. So let's just talk about that episode. It was just so good, it from 2 Mandalorians enter a bar, walks into a bar, to...
That's actually something I want to talk about.
Okay, go ahead.
So
that's what this is time for.
Okay, so the scene in the bar with the Mandalorians, I thought was amazing. I loved the setup. I loved the dialogue that they had and the fight that they had.
I can't wait to see it.
But one of the things that I loved was one of the big debates is what's his name is Boba Fett a Mandalorian? And
Yeah.
now I like the fact that it is now one of the things that inside of the Star Wars universe, there is debate on this to where she goes, "You're not a Mandalorian." Never said I was. And then they start talking about Django, and then don't you mean your donor? And
Oh, the shade.
I think technically is the fact that the reason why the Mandalorians don't consider Boba Fett a Mandalorian is because that he is a clone. Not, and I think they would have more acceptance of Jango Fett, even though in Clone Wars they were like, we don't know how that guy got Mandalorian armor, but Boba Fett did explain it, that he himself was a foundling.
Yes, he explained that in episode 6, I think it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I like that they're kind of entering, and this is all just setting it up. Once we have Boba Fett like physically in the show, and they just, and we're gonna get even more of a look, I think, a peek behind the curtain of like what was Boba Fett doing between like the last time we saw him in the films to before he showed up in the Mandalorian. There's like, especially.
How did he get out of the Sarlacc pit?
Literally everybody wants to. Okay, question to all of you and to you. So if you're watching us live, please put this in the chat. And if you're not watching us live, just go ahead and put that in the comments, because I'd love to know where kind of everybody's head is for this. Do you actually want to see a flashback of how Boba got out of the Sarlacc pit, or would you want to keep that a myth and a legend?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Answer that now in the chat or in the comments.
I personally think I would like to see a flashback, because we know that he got, it's not like, what was somewhat like, what is Darth Vader's backstory kind of thing, kind of an experience where sometimes it's better not to know, where sometimes you have these villains that you don't want to know the details because it gives them a little bit more mystery. We know that he went into the Sarlacc pit and somehow got out. So I would like to actually see how he actually got out, to see that struggle. I know there's a ton of different not fan theories, but fan fiction. There's a difference of legends fiction of how he got out of the Sarlacc pit. So I would actually like to see what Disney says, no, this is what actually happened. If you want to make a little bit of mystery about it and have Boba Fett say one thing, but someone else that could have seen it says another thing. So you might get this a little bit of a jaded story, so to speak, of who's actually telling the truth. Or is it just when Boba Fett tells the story, is it more along the lines of him being the hero of his own story? So he's putting himself into the best light.
I don't know if that's the
kind
way
of a
Boba
thing.
Fett, though.
But yeah, so I would love to. I would love to see a flashback of him fighting his way out of the Sarlacc pit to where his, he just gets messed up, kind of a thing.
You see the scarring on his face, obviously, in this iteration of Boba Fett. So you would like to see a flashback?
I think, honestly, I would like to see it. If
a lot of you guys saying that in the chat as well.
Here's the caveat: if they do it well, there is a very easy way to do this and completely mess it up. I think it's going to be difficult to tell this story that hundreds and hundreds of fans have speculated and have fantasized and have written their own fiction about, to do well. So it's going to be something that they're going to have to handle with exceptionally kid gloves.
I mean, between the writers and mega Star Wars fans such as Filoni and Favreau, I think if they do decide to show it, they will do it. They will take the time and they will make the effort to do it right, just like how they introduced Luke in this episode. I normally don't want to see myths and the legends, and that's why I was kind of, when Solo was first announced, I was like, I don't know, do we need to see how he made the Kessel Run? Like, do we actually need to see that? It's kind of what's cool is you hear about this and you don't know, but it's that myth and that legend. That's what makes that figure, that person so cool. You're like, oh, I heard you made it in 12 parsecs. Wow, 14, 412, whatever. And it's like, I like when certain legends like this are shrouded in mystery. I don't always need an explanation of how the baddie became a baddie and da 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 da. It's like, sometimes just let them be bad and let them have that. and it makes it so cool. However, having seen what they've done with the Mandalorian and having just seen how badass all the Mandalorians are and their different fighting skills and how they use their weapons and everything, like they're very what's it like what's the word I'm looking for, like uh they're able to do many things well.
Yeah.
Well-versed fighters, well-rounded fighters. Like they don't always only rely, as you can
Versatile.
see the Mandalorian, like they don't really need to just always shoot a gun. They can brawl hand to hand with you, just as we saw that he used a Beskar staff. So like because of that, I actually would not mind seeing a flashback of how Boba Fett got out of the Sarlacc pit. I also wouldn't mind if it's just Fennec and Boba kind of sitting, hanging out at Jabba's palace. Well, now we can call it Boba's palace.
Boba's palace.
And they kind of kick back having a drink and just, now that all that's done, they've gotten the child safely delivered back to the Mandalorian, who is now in the hands of a Jedi to further his training. I wouldn't mind also if they're just sitting down and just like having a chat. He just kind of mentions it and talks about it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind that either. Would I rather see it, of course, because it's going to be badass, but I wouldn't mind if he just brings it up and tells his tale.
I think it almost would have been funny if like Fennec kind of just looks over at him and goes, so I heard about you and the Sarlacc pit. How did you get out of the Sarlacc? And just like, lots of explosives.
Yeah. Just
that's all
crawling up.
And that would be kind of funny, to where you see like the Sarlacc pit, and all of a sudden you hear this boom, 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 and then smoke coming out of the Sarlacc pit, the Sarlacc's mouth, and then you just see Boba climbing out, and that's all you
just
see.
Like covered in like mess,
slime, and you see his armor all, and it's like all of the paint is gone. But then here's the thing: it's going to be a few years between when he got swallowed by the Sarlacc and the time that we see him in that first episode of The Mandalorian. What happened between there? How exactly did he lose his armor? Those are questions that I think would be kind of fun to at least allude to or hint at. But I'm just excited that we're getting the book of Boba Fett.
The book of Boba Fett. So I am so glad. So normally Dustin and I, when we're done watching the show, the camera still runs, luckily, but we usually sit through the credit just because I like to kind of see who else, like in the cast, stunt performers and things like that. And just typically you and I always sit through the credit. And this is even before days of like, it's like a thing to put in a mid-credit or a post-credit. We just like to sit through it to kind of pay our respect to the people, all the people that work very, very hard on a movie or a TV show. Like we watch through. So I don't like it when they turn it off or it goes to that small like screen
that bugs
where I'm like, wait, I'm literally trying to read the people's names. So, so it's always having to like pause. But anyways, we let it run because it didn't do that since it was the last episode. And I'm so glad we kept the camera running. Sometimes I do turn it off and we'll just kind of talk through the credit as we watch it and discuss and like, oh, look at this person worked on this. That final post-credit scene or post-credit scene of Boba Fett walking into, would you still call it Jabba's palace when Jabba
I guess it
Bib Fortuna?
I guess it'd be Bib Fortuna's palace?
That's weird to say. It doesn't roll off the tongue.
I'm actually surprised that they didn't have another Hutt there. Someone else that would have taken Jabba's place, because it is the Hutt clan. So, I mean, we've seen it in Clone Wars, to where you saw all of the different Hutts kind of talking. I'm sure one of the Hutts would have come and claimed that in the last 5 years or so, claimed Jabba's throne, so to speak. And also, it's one of those things, if that was one of Boba Fett's intentions, was to take over the throne of Jabba, why didn't he do it somewhere between that 5 years? True, I know he probably wanted his armor back before he did it, but I'm also like, well, then how did he lose it? Why didn't? But there's a lot of different questions. That leaves plenty of room for exploring and adventuring,
which will be hopefully what we get in the book of Boba Fett. So before we kind of hop into that topic, I just want to address this super chat very quickly. Thank you so much. The Price is Right review. Thank you so much for your super chat. Hey, sup, awesome peeps. Hey. Seeing Luke Skywalker return, the kid wept. That said, I'll go insane if they bring in another legendary character in The Mandalorian, the only Force user who wore a Mandalorian helmet.
I know, it's...
Oh, gosh. I mean, that's what makes it really, like, interesting about this show, because prior to seeing this post-credit scene, end credit scene, yeah, same thing, we were thinking that we would continue on season 3, seeing more adventures of Din, not really knowing what's going to happen with Grogu because now he's been passed on. But I
Yeah.
was like, okay, well, what's going to happen? And my immediate kind of knee-jerk reaction was they're going to continue, and it's going to kind of, maybe we'll open with a discussion with Bo and Din talking about exactly how to handle this Darksaber deal,
Yeah.
because she wasn't keen on just accepting it. Even he's like, there, I yield. He literally does not want it. And they can kind of explore, she's been trying to bring him on her team to reclaim her throne of Mandalore. So I thought maybe season 3 would kind of venture into that, because it kind of still is encased in that like Mandalorian lore. So this was like a curveball to see the book of Boba Fett. And so, kind of to further discussion on that, that is coming December 2021. Typically, that is when the Mandalorian is debuted. So
Yeah.
now the question is the book of Boba Fett, in fact, then season 3 of The Mandalorian? So to be centered, so like kind of Din's chapters closed for now, and then we will kind of have a Boba Fett centered season 3, and then after that we move back to Din, or like is Din still going to show up?
Oh, good
Like I
point.
don't know if it's going to be that is going to be The Mandalorian season 3, or the book of Boba Fett is like a mini spin-off series, which it's weird because they're doing it at the same time as The Mandalorian would have dropped. So like how many Mandalorian shows would we get if that's the route that they went to?
Yeah, true. So yeah, I mean, is the book of Boba Fett gonna be season 3 of the Mandalorian kind of a thing? I think, okay, so I think we have the storyline of the Mandalorian, and it started off just being this Mandalorian season 1 and 2 was their testing waters. And they were like, okay, how are people going to react to a spaghetti western?
Oh, that's not what I wanted to show. Sorry. This one.
Oh. So
sorry, continue.
Okay, so but anyways, so I think they used the Mandalorian season 1 to test the waters if, hey, a spaghetti western Star Wars samurai kind of movie, it's kind of TV show, is anyone going to watch it? Are they going to even like it? Wow, they did. Okay, they didn't just like it, they loved it. Okay, now with season 2, let's continue on this kind of path with Grogu and the Mandalorian, but let's see if people react well to Ahsoka, to seeing Luke, to seeing Boba Fett. And they're like, oh, wow, yeah, they loved it. So I think what's going to happen is we're going to get the Ahsoka spinoff, which I'm hoping they will integrate Luke Skywalker into and bring a live actor into actually playing Luke Skywalker, like Sebastian Stan. There's probably also hundreds of other actors that would do well as a young Luke Skywalker. But I would love to see Ahsoka and Luke meet up, have a nice talk about, oh yeah, you knew my father before he turned into Darth Vader. Well, he turned away from the dark side, and both Ahsoka and Luke can have this really touching moment. On the other side, you still have the story of Boba Fett going off in one direction, but you'll have the Mandalorian going actually to Mandalore and telling his story there of actually becoming more a part of Mandalorian society with Bo-Katan and reunited the Mandalorians. So I think it's going to be all of these different spin-offs that are going to kind of, what is that called? Kind of like the CW,
like Arrowverse and all
the
that
Arrowverse
stuff.
And the Flash universe, where they kind of cross over, separate. They will
definitely do a little bit of crossover here and there. Like Ahsoka will come into an episode of The Mandalorian, because now we have, just like you said, now we have several shows, especially since the announcement from Disney Investor Day. All these shows take place during the time of The Mandalorian, so we obviously have The Mandalorian. Ahsoka will be taking place during the time of The Mandalorian, as well as the Ranger of the New Republic. So all of that kind of creates that CW format where it gives us an opportunity to see them all cross over. Will they do it? It's not necessarily like a confirmed thing that, oh yeah, just because it's in this time they'll do it. You know what I mean? Like maybe they introduce these characters to introduce the announcements, and then they will kind of exist in their own individual respective shows. But we don't know. What I do know is that this is just, what a time to be a Star Wars fan, old and new. Like you're just getting so much content, such good stories, and I'm really, really excited. Like for the Mandalorian, there's a lot we can go on. There's the whole like Book of Boba Fett that I literally don't know what's gonna happen, but I love that him and Fennec are in it together.
Yes.
Because I will always watch more Ming Na Wen on TV, always, always, always. And if they continue with the books, because if you, as you know, they don't title these episodes, they call them chapters. So
Yeah.
it makes sense for the Book of Boba Fett. Maybe the next one we will have the Book of Bo-Katan. You know,
True.
we don't know, but that's like really, really, really exciting that we have all of this for them to explore. And like Katie Sackhoff is doing such a great job. Obviously, she voiced the character, so you know it's not like a new territory for her. But just seeing her live action and saying these lines sounds and looks amazing, especially when she was kind of like, "I heard your voice thousands of times." I'm like, the shade.
Oh, I love the
fight.
shade that the kind of the cat claws that kind of came out in that bar scene. But one of my favorite moments with that fight though between Boba Fett and the I can't remember the other Mandalorian.
Oh, Sasha Banks.
Koshka. Koshka, how they both did their cool fighting moves, but then they turn to each other and they both do that flamethrower to each other, and it just like
that fighting style, like, man.
Oh, it was so cool.
Yes.
I do see a lot of people talking about what we mean by like a new Luke Skywalker.
Yes.
What I one of the big problems that I did have, and if you watch our reaction, you will see it, to where when we see the X-Wing come in, I'm excited. I'm like, oh my God, that's Luke.
Or when the green lightsaber went out,
when the green lightsaber, I see the glove, and then you see one glove and one not gloved hand. You're like, oh my God, that's Luke Skywalker. And then you see even the cloak kind of covering up. Even though he's wearing kind of the exact same clothes that he was wearing.
That's his like thing, you know.
So has he been wearing that outfit for the last 5 years?
No, if you open Luke Skywalker's closet, it's just black. That's his vibe. That's the aesthetic, and I am okay. I'm here for it.
That's just a little fun nitpick. I had a little jab. But as soon as they revealed his face and you saw that it was deep fake / CGI / de-aging.
We're putting all that out there. Just one of them will land.
Yeah, one of them is right. But I was kind of like, what the hell? I wanted to see a real actor, mainly because if you guys loved it, that's awesome. I found it to be a little stiff and robotic for Luke. I personally think Luke would not have been so monotone, so drone. He would have, I think he would have, even if he just would have introduced himself as Luke, saying, hi, my name's Luke. You know, I felt your presence. Have there been a little bit more of a soft dialogue between them? Now, true, I do remember, I mean, the main point of that scene wasn't really Luke. It was Mando and Grogu. That's that relationship, that reaction to this is what I was trying to do. I was trying to get you to one of your kind so you can be safe. I love you. I will always care for you. I will take off my helmet for you. That moment was just, even though we'd seen him without his helmet before, this is the moment of him without his helmet.
He did it in front of everyone else. That's a huge thing. That just means like that, how significant that relationship and that bond is to Din. For him to, you know, this entire 2 seasons, he's like, I don't take off my helmet. Even when he did with Mayfeld respectfully was like, I never saw your face. Yeah. You know, because it's so important for him, you know, because this is the way. And that bond that he's like, Grogu wants to see my face. And this is, I'll see him again, but I don't know when, right? So I'm going to take off my helmet. And he just literally ignored that anyone else was there. Seeing that, and that's such a powerful moment, and it was so great. So yeah, you're right in saying that it's the Luke's moment wasn't as it's important, but it also didn't outshine the moment between Grogu and Din.
Yeah, and I think Wasted Poe, is that a great name, by the way? This is the perfect comment. Yeah, the fact that for what it was, the CGI is fine. If that was their plan, to just make it like, okay, we don't plan to have Luke in this at all ever again. This is just a moment that we want to have. Then the CGI is fine. However, if they have him in later series, if they have him in the Ahsoka series and he's actually a regular, please recast it. Please actually get Mark Hamill's permission, get George Lucas's permission, and be like, you know, we want to have an actor in here who can actually be able to have more tender moments, be able to show a little bit more of the acting skills. Having that mask on really does kind of take away from it.
Yeah.
I personally think.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think you can have a regular character in there CGI'd like that.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I mean, you'd have to do a lot more stuff in order to make it a little bit more connected.
And I just want to say thank you for the Price is Right review for sending in that super chat. We're going to get to it in 2 seconds. Just to kind of further that along, I will say that the CGI face, the deep fake or the de-aging, did throw me off for a second because it didn't look. I think that technology is what didn't work for me was the eyes. There wasn't any.
It's like definitely
It
like
felt.
this area.
It felt just a little bit like. Didn't have as much life and light behind it like I thought. And also when his expression moved, so normally when a human talks you see the wrinkles and the muscle movement, and I felt like because it's a CGI thing, it didn't have what it normally like a natural human face would have, and that's what made it felt stiff for me. But regardless of that, I felt for this kind of like to echo Wasted Pose comment, seeing Luke Skywalker in the show for that one specific moment.
Mhm.
And I would say more of the bigger parts was obviously him being like a kick-ass Jedi.
That's what we've wanted to see.
So good.
That's what we've wanted to see since Return of the Jedi.
So good. And we got to see that. That really satisfied my need of seeing like, yeah, that's Luke Skywalker, son. You know, and to kind of see Mark Hamill's face there and to hear that voice, even though the CGI took me out of it for a second, I was still happy to see that. And I like that. I think it's the respectful thing to do to use the likeness of Mark Hamill to put him in the credit. And do I think it was the right way to go. Now in the future, if they decide to use and kind of like you guys comment and in the chat or in the comment section on this question below, if we were to see Luke Skywalker in future Star Wars shows, whether it's a longer duration of a cameo, like a longer moment, more interaction, and not just fighting, I would like to see if they can cast an actor to play. And it's hard for me to say that out loud too, because like when you say Luke Skywalker, all I can think about is Mark Hamill because he is Luke Skywalker. So to kind of try to imagine them recasting or casting a young version of Luke Skywalker, it's kind of hard to comprehend. Just like when they were doing this for Solo, but they were making the movie, so obviously they had to find the right actor for the role, and they did that. They found that in Alden Ehrenreich. Oh God, I'm saying his name wrong. But like to me, it's like I don't know. It's kind of you're kind of towing that like Carrie Fisher line a little bit. Like I don't know if I want to see it or I don't. You know what I mean? So like maybe we just keep the interaction with like hood up and you just hear the voice, and like I wouldn't mind that either. To be completely, we know it's Luke. Do I need to see his face to believe it's Luke? No, because it's established, right?
Yeah, true.
In the future episode. So I don't know. I'm just kind of like verbal diarrhea here. But let us know in the comment section below or in the chat. And let's get to the Price is Right. His super chat. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
This is kind of in relation of what he was talking about earlier. So if you're not familiar with Revan, he is basically the John Wick of Star Wars character who rivaled who rivaled Darth Vader himself. Darth Vader is Star Wars apparently. Himself of the Force and with the Force and a lightsaber.
Well, and also Darth Revan is one of those few characters.
He doesn't yet exist in like any of the animated or.
No, I don't think they bring him up. I don't think they've brought him up in any canon subject. They might have in like the books, the comics, but of course I have not read all of those because there's so many. But the thing is with Revan is that he went from from the light side to the dark side, back to the light side, and I don't know if he transitioned one more time. But he's one of the few. Darth Vader is one of the few who's made that transition of switching from the light to the dark and then back. So hearing his story, I think, is really important. So I am I hope they do something with him because his character and his story is such a cool story.
I think what's a really cool thing they're doing right now with all the Star Wars properties, and I think The Mandalorian really opened the gate for them, is they're kind of taking that like almost that like Marvel model. That's hard to
Mm-hmm.
say. That they planted the seeds all kind of within the Mandalorian. Certain characters were introduced via the Mandalorian. If you didn't know about them from other properties like the Clone Wars, Rebels, and books and comics and things like that, they kind of did that with this show. And then they went and did the right thing to kick off all the other little shows. Ahsoka,
Mm-hmm.
New Rangers of the New Republic. Now we're gonna get the Boba Fett, season 3 of Boba Fett, or Boba Fett miniseries to be yet confirmed, but I feel like most likely season 3. Um, but and I totally okay. So this is kind of seeing it. You know how Marvel have their phases. This is kind of like phase 1.
Yes.
Right. So Revan, we can maybe expect to show up in phase 2. So they got to flesh out the Ahsoka stuff. They got to flesh out the Rangers of the New Republic, and they're going to give us, obviously more the Mandalorian, and then after that they can kind of think of like, could we potentially get a Revan series? Could he make an appearance in one of these shows as an incubator and as a tease, and see how that goes with like the general public? And I don't feel like people would not want to see that.
Well, I think also one of the only older Sith or ancient Sith lords that has been referenced in canon was Darth Bane. When Yoda, in the end of season 6, I believe, of the Clone Wars, actually went to the planet and met the essence of the Force. Oof. So, and there was that moment where Darth Bane, his essence kind of showed up. So it would be cool to also bring in Darth Bane. They've made the book Darth Plagueis, to have some fun with that.
There's just a lot. It's a big universe, and with TV shows within Disney Plus, I think there's so many opportunities to do anything they want. Really, they just have to move the story and mold it the right way, take the time to tell the story rather than rushing to give the fans what they want. Because what we want, yes, we want to see these characters, but more than that, we want a good story.
Yeah.
And the right presentation for these characters that we love, whether it's in books or animated shows. So kind of like what they're doing with the Bad Batch as well.
Yeah.
Like they gave us that in the final season of Clone Wars. They were a hit, so they're like, okay, now we're gonna have, that's another show that's gonna live within the Mandalorian time. We see Fennec Shand, kind of a little cameo in that trailer. So really, really excited to see where that's going to take us. Like, could they potentially, like, I want to see how they kind of like survive through Order 66 and their feelings on that.
Yeah.
Like how did, like, what's that conversation like to hear about?
Because they probably didn't, the Bad Batch probably didn't have the chips in them.
Oh my God. Well, yeah, because they don't operate the same as the other, so.
Or somehow the chips didn't work.
Or they somehow, like, I am very, very excited to see. There's so much potential. Like, yeah. I think there's a good possibility we'll get to see Revan. There's a good possibility we obviously will probably most likely get to see Thrawn and hopefully Ezra and Sabine in Ahsoka, which would be fantastic. I would love to see Sabine, in Ahsoka, and then maybe they can insert Sabine in the Mandalorian as well, even if it's just a cameo. I think like that would be really, really, really great.
Bottom line is that, one, I know that Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni are going to be more, I'm hoping that they kind of make them the Kevin Feige of the Star Wars Disney Plus universe.
To have Feige overlook, kind of like be in charge of that as well?
No. That Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni are going to be the Kevin Feige of the Star Wars universe.
I kind of feel like they've already, even if it's not official, because I don't know, but like it feels like already they're kind of acting in that role already. Yeah. Because there's such, before being a director, creator, writer, animator, any of that, they are fans. They are fans, and I think that's what's so important, for the two of them, and that Filoni has like that relationship with George Lucas, so he can always refer back to be like, well, yep. What would, like the Master and the Apprentice sort of
very
a
much
situation.
So. Dave Filoni is pretty much George Lucas's Padawan.
So if George are you saying Lucas is Anakin? And oh wait, hold on.
Dave Filoni is Ahsoka, and Anakin and George Lucas is Anakin. Yeah, I would go with that.
Why not?
Or you can make it Obi-Wan and Luke.
Oh, Obi-Wan and Luke. I kind of like that more.
Okay.
Hello there. All right, you guys. Thank you so much, you guys, for we went way over like 29 minutes over, and I that's my bad because I didn't watch the time.
I had
Um
fun. I'm sure we
it
all
was
had an
tons
awesome
of fun.
time.
So thank you all so much. And I've seen tons of comments here as well. Let's see. Graveling had here we go. A book is used in novels sometimes to divide sections. Book one, book two, etc. So Book of Boba means the next section of the Mandalorian story, which I agree with.
Oh,
I agree
so
with
it
that.
might be season 3, The Mandalorian, the Book of Boba Fett.
As opposed to giving like an additional like mini series, because that's just like how are they going to time that out? You know what I
That
mean?
is very true. And
Yeah.
then just give a little bit of a wrap up, and then season 4 can
And
be the Book of Mandalore
or
or the Book of
Bo-Katan.
Bo-Katan. So either one works.
Yeah, I think and I think Debbie put this in our Discord group. So if you guys would like to join our Discord group, which is by the way so much fun, we encourage obviously, you know, comments, discussions, and everybody be super respectful of everybody's opinions, because we're all fans of the same thing. We just, even if we have different ideas, just remember that we are all fans. But we have a very friendly, very fun community in here. So I'm gonna go ahead and drop our Discord in the chat if you'd like to join us and our movie bunch in discussing all things nerdy, anything from Disney to Marvel to Star Wars to Broadway to K-pop, and literally anything and everything under the sun we talk about on our Discord. So feel free to come and hang out and join us there. We have a great time. And Debbie, Movie Bunch Debbie, did put in a story about the stunt double, one of the stunt doubles for Din, for Pedro Pascal, confirmed on his social media that Pedro will be back in season 3.
Okay.
So I don't think they've completely like okay, then you're done. We won't see you for a whole season. Is that I think it'll just be centered like how this was centered around Din. It'll be maybe centered more on Boba and kind of his journey, but we'll still get to see Din.
Yeah,
they'll still work together in some capacity or another. And I am pretty sure it won't be the last time we see Bo-Katan.
Very true. Okay, one last geek theory. So one of the big theories is, oh, Luke Skywalker took Grogu. Does that mean Kylo Ren killed Grogu? But I think there should be a moment to where, if there is that kind of moment, Din comes in and saves baby Yoda, and he flies away, and all these other
does he have a showdown with the Knights of Ren?
That would be pretty cool.
Beskar stab against.
And then, but he's just like, okay, there's too many of these guys. I'm taking Grogu. Peace out. And he's he like comes in and saves Grogu at the last minute, kind of thing. So he stays in the universe.
I would not like for Kylo Ren to have killed Grogu.
Yeah,
I would not like that at all.
I mean, we still need to think also about 50 years from now. You know, how old Grogu's going to be, what's going to be going on in the universe. I would love if they've evolved Grogu a little bit more.
I want Grogu with like teenage sass. Going to my room.
Teenage angst.
Going to my room, I will.
But yeah, I mean, right now it's the whole universe is wide open. I'm really curious to see where they go, how they handle it, all of these new things that are just making us all drool for Star Wars like we used to.
I'm so happy. Like my heart is so full after watching that last episode. Like I think I screamed way too loud, and I like just cried it probably after the cameras turned off. Just cried it like an unhealthy amount. Seeing freaking Luke Skywalker and that green lightsaber. That moment was great. And the I can't watch. Yes, I can. Oh man. All right, guys, with that said, we're going to go ahead and end this live stream. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to thumbs up this video. It really helps us out a lot here on YouTube. Subscribe if you haven't already, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any new videos. We will be back on Wednesday with another live stream. In the meantime, we hope to continue to chat with you via social media or in our Discord if you decide to join us. So thank you so much for such a great conversation today. We had so much fun, as always, hanging out with you guys. So